For most people, fall means football, but there are more sports to watch and enjoy than just the clash on the gridiron. Tonight, we step into the gym and let the girls have their turn. That's right, it's time for volleyball action on AM 800 KBRV The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Whether you're a fan of Grace and the Lady Grizz, the Purple Cowgirls of North Gym, or the high-flying Cardinals of Soda Springs, this is your home for all of the local action between the net cords. Every dig, every set, and every kill can be heard and seen right here. High school sports are brought to you on 800 KBRV by
Sanders Furniture, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Silver Star Communications, Monsanto, and Old West Media.
Now, let's head to the court with the voice of Caribou County Sports, Caleb Burgraff.
And welcome out, everybody, to another edition of Cardinals Volleyball. As it's time to open conference play. The games outside of conference play haven't wrapped up quite yet. The Cardinals still have plenty of games left to go. But Soda Springs is heading down south, and we're in Malad City this evening as it's time to take on the Malad Dragons to open up conference play. And if you're the Cardinals, you're really getting the best test of the year in this conference opener as the Malad Dragons, the defending state champions, returning 7 seniors to this year's squad as they have, talking to the coach, 18 total seasons worth of varsity experience on the starting and bench players for the varsity team. That's why this test is going to be so big for the Lady Cardinals. If they can come out and compete and play well against Malad, even if they get swept, but keep themselves in the 20s and keep themselves right around that level of play that Malad brings to the table, this Cardinals team really will be showing that they're at the spot they need to be at this season in order to compete throughout the rest of the year. We have a lot left for you on the pregame show, including interviews with both head coaches, Cammie Tripp as well as Shawnee Thompson, on the pregame show here to talk about what they're expecting. We're also going to give you guys a look at what these two teams are bringing to the table this year and what exactly to expect from each of the starting lineups. All coming up here on KBRV's presentation of Soda Springs Volleyball, here with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air.
And then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 10th through the 16th. Then we start off with lunchtime as you can grab yourself peanut butter jars, 2 for $3. Farm bread as well, 4 packs for $5. And they even have Tampico gallon select varieties of punch, 99 cents a piece. If you're looking for something for dinner, country style ribs, $1.49 a pound, or ground beef, $3.79 a pound. And wrap it all up with Tillamook ice cream, select varieties for $3.99. All at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to Malad City and Malad High School as we're here on KBRV 800 The Bear. Thanks again for tuning in as it's time for us to take a look at the opposing team. The Cardinals are going to be taking on the Malad Dragons. And again, this will be one of their biggest tests of the year. The Malad Dragons coming in 11-3 on the year after going and playing in a tournament where they took on plenty of different 5A schools as well as some of the smaller schools. In fact, that's where their losses came from. They didn't lose to schools that are around the 2A size. They lost to 5A schools, and that's why this team is really going to be be where they're at because they've been playing at a lot of challenging places, and it's going to be tough for the Cardinals to come through with a win in this one because they're going against the senior-studded lineup. 7 different seniors, including Taya Thorpe, Tabor Paskett, Peyton Tripp, the libero, Kenna Cummins, Bailey Wise, and Lindsay Sorensen, as well as Riley Tripp. So you have 7 different seniors on this team that make up their roster, and anytime you're playing an experienced roster like that that's been playing together and has experience under their belt, not only here in the regular season but at the playoff level, that's where you really get some issues. And this team has been to the state championship game, not just once, but twice in the last 2 years as they took on the Firth Panthers the Firth Cougars the last 2 times that they went there, losing the first time, beating them the second time. So again, this Malad team has a target on their back, and it's the Cardinals' turn to take aim at that. We'll hear right now as we talked with Coach Cammie Tripp about what she needs her team to do in order to come through with this and what she felt like when it was their time to win that state championship.
Kayla Burgraff joined here on the pregame show with Cammie Tripp, the head coach of the Malad Dragons. And Coach, first of all, last year you win the state championship. What was it like to get that state championship here at Malad and be able to come into the season with a little bit of momentum just without even having to play a match?
You know, our state championship last year, it was something that we worked for all year. But after we lost our outside senior, Aubrey King, who was our powerhouse, we were a little bit, I guess, suspect about how successful we could be against Firth because we had lost to Firth the previous year in the state championship match, and they had their big guns back. And so we knew coming into last season that we were going to have to play incredible volleyball in order to beat Firth. And so going to that state championship match against them and taking it from them was as sweet as anything could be, to beat the team that beat us the last 2 years in the state tournament, knocking us out of the championship match 2 years before and beating us in the state championship the prior year was great. And so it's a good place to be right now as we come back as the defending state champions.
This year you have that defending state championship, but also you bring back 7 seniors. That had to be another thing that you looked at and said, this is just too good to be true this year coming back.
Yeah, you know, I looked at the girls at the beginning of the season and I counted up years of varsity experience, and we have 18 years of varsity experience on our court this year, and talking to them and saying, you know, we are the team with the X on our back, and we're the Firth of the prior years. We've always had that goal to go out and get them, and now we're everyone's goal. And so if you think that we can sit back and just be complacent with the fact that we're the defending state champions, that certainly isn't the case. We have to be working harder and, you know, better than anyone else in the state if we want to pursue our goal of another state championship.
Kayla Burgraff here with Coach Cammie Tripp. And Coach, what were some of the things that coming into this year you looked at and said, this was our weak spot, this is what we really need to work on coming into this season?
You know, last year we were solid in the libero position, and we graduated Jordan Hawks, and so figuring out, with, like I said, with those 18 years of experience where I'm going to put them all on the court and maximize our potential as a team was probably really my biggest challenge, and figuring out where the greatest strengths were for our players. And so I've made some adjustments, moving an outside from last year to the libero position, and right side to outside, and so just shifting around and playing on strengths, and it's been kind of challenging for them as well to adjust to the new roles and the changes in expectation, but so far it's working out for us. We'll hope that continues.
You guys are 11-3 this year after the tournament play that you guys have been in, but you lost to some 5A schools, so it's not like you have any bad losses on your schedule so far this year. For Soda Springs, they're coming into this 2-3 right now on the year as they went to the Icebreaker tournament with a lot of shorter, smaller matches up there. They have a new head coach this year, kind of new. She was here your first year coaching at Malad. What do you see in Shawnee Thompson, and what are some of the things that you remember from her that you might have to watch for in her team tonight?
Well, you know, when I heard that Shawnee was back, and in talking to my girls, I told them last night, I don't know what to expect necessarily out of Soda. I think that they're going to be a little bit younger. I know that that you have a great freshman class, and returning players from previous year. And I said, I do know they have this head coach that coached about 10 years ago, and she was a great coach. She coached when they were a dominating volleyball program, and so we need to be prepared and we need to be ready to play our best game of the season. So we're expecting that she'll have them ready to play and that we're going to have to be on top of our game.
Coach Tripp, thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck to you tonight, and good luck to you the rest of the season as well as you get conference play underway.
Great, thank you so much.
That was head coach Cammie Tripp of the Malad Lady Dragons as they get set to take on the Soda Springs Lady Cardinals. We're about 9 minutes away from the opening serve here at the home of the Malad Dragons as they look to try and defend their den from the Cardinals, who look to invade and pester the Dragons into submission. That's all coming up on the other side of the break. You're listening to Soda Springs Cardinal Volleyball on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
This year, firefighters will battle thousands of wildfires around the country in hopes of containing them. But a single ember that escapes can travel more than 1 mile, where it can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where the ember will land, only what happens when it does. Prepare, protect, prevail. Get fire adapted. Learn simple steps you could take now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Malad Dragons on KBRV 800 The Bear. Soda Springs getting ready to take on the Dragons in their first conference matchup of the year. Soda Springs comes in 2-3 on the year now. The Dragons coming in 11-3 on the season with those 3 losses to 5A schools. Looking at that last game for the Cardinals, though, they are riding a 2-game winning streak. They're starting to look a little bit better and more concise as a team this year as they start to build up to that. And a lot of it has come behind some of their outside and middle hitters. Katie Sims really had a good game in their last matchup. 8 kills, 3 blocks in the matchup. Haley Ledbetter, a solid, strong start, and as well 5 kills and 5 aces for the Cardinals in that matchup. And they're really looking to build on that. One of the big things to watch, though, is Callie Groning and her development as a setter, as they're really working at getting that chemistry with some of her hitters, including some of her outside hitters and Ledbetter, as well as outside hitters like Kaylin Lewis, who has been switched to that position, or Katie Franson, who has been rotating as doing one of the outside hitters and one of the setters when she's into the back row. So a lot of different places to watch for the Soda Springs Cardinals team as they come into this matchup. We talked a lot about those with Coach Shawnee Thompson before the match. And here we are now. We're talking with her on KBRV 800 The Bear.
Kayla Burgraff on the pregame show with Coach Shawnee Thompson. And Coach, tonight you guys take on Malad, but before we talk about tonight's matchup, last night you took on American Falls, second time of the year. You got a little bit of a rematch and revenge in that rematch, I should say. What were your thoughts on the way your team performed and came back?
You know, our girls played a lot better together as a team. Their motion and everything defensively was so much more cohesive as a team, and the talking, the communication, much better. So that was a huge success for us in those regards.
Looking at, when I talked with Lexi Patterson before that match, one of the things that she said is that you guys are working on trying to get a little bit more active in the warm-ups to try and keep those first set doldrums from happening and get a little bit of a better start. And I saw that a little bit in the way the team was warming up. Do you think that was a good, the way they played in the first set was an improvement from the way they played in the previous ones?
You know, I still wasn't happy with the way that we played in the first set. We still played and came out a little bit cold. And I don't understand why. I mean, honestly, during warm-ups, I thought, all right, this is going to be a good night. It's going to happen. And ultimately it did, but not so much in the first game. That first game was a little bit cold for us. And we've got to get over that hump. And we've got to, as soon as we hit the floor, we've got to come out ready to hit the ball.
One of the players that really had a good night last night was Katie Sims, a freshman for you that's been getting starting time as one of your outside hitters and middles. What's she mean to this team, being able to get that much support from one of your youth players?
You know, Katie's been really strong for us, and I like the style of play that she has. We've got to continue to build up some of her skills, of course, but she's had quite a bit of experience and ball touches throughout some of the AAU ball that she has played in the past, and that helps because it's given her a lot more seasons of really volleyball over some others, and that experience is kind of what we're trying to go on and build that confidence with.
Kayla Burgraff here with Coach Shawnee Thompson from the Soda Springs Cardinals. And Coach, one more thing on last night that I saw, and that has to go back to Callie Groning. So far this year as a setter, she's been really developing as well. And one thing that I saw her starting to really bring out was the quick set that you've seen from some of the other teams that you've been playing. She was able to hook up with Katie Sims a couple of times last night, with that particularly late in that match. Was that something you've been working on with her, or is that something she's developed on her own?
You know, a hitter and a setter have to have that connection in order to run those quicks. They have to have that connection. They have to do tons of reps, and you've got to do it in a game and go with the risk that might be involved with it to, you know, hopefully in the end of the season you're getting the success out of those things. So I was really happy to see those two running those, and then even after, you know, missing the first, going for it a second time and having the success that second time. And, you know, as a group, as a team, we all have to kind of feed off of those things, and it increases the intensity. When you speed up your game, the intensity of the game increases. So that's the fun thing about running quicks out of, be it a middle or a shoot or a slide off the back, any of those. It's just a faster game, which makes the game of volleyball that much more enjoyable to play or to watch.
Final question for you, Coach, and this one's a two-parter. First conference match of the year and your first real tough test going against Malad, the state champions in 2A. They bring back 7 seniors. Is it good to start the conference year off against a tough test like this to figure out where you need to be at?
You know, I enjoy being able to play all the non-conference games that we've had leading up to this conference game. But then once you hit conference, this is when the real time starts. You know, this is the first game that really determines where we're seated here at the end come district play. And we have to play ball tonight. And it's a good thing to see them. But, and you know who they're defending state champions. Are they going to be tough? You betcha. You know, and so we've got to go in and we've got to play our game, and we have to look for our small goals. We've got to improve our serving. We've got to improve our serve receive. And we've got to play to win the game.
Coach, thank you so much again for the time, and good luck tonight against Malad and the Dragons.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That was Coach Shawnee Thompson of the Soda Springs Lady Cardinals. We are just about a minute away from the starting lineups and the national anthem here in Malad City, Idaho, down towards the southern border of the state, about an hour and 15 minutes away from Soda Springs and the home of the Cardinals. It's the first road conference game of the year, first conference game of the year for the Cardinals. We'll be back here after a quick break and bring you the starting lineups for these two squads, as well as the first serve and a look at what is coming up for the Cardinals this season. All coming up here on KBRV 800 The Bear, your home for Cardinals volleyball with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
There you have a beautiful rendition of our national anthem here by the Malad Pep Band, sitting just to our left as we are high above center court at the home of the Malad Dragons, getting ready for the Soda Springs Cardinals to take on the Malad Dragons. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight as we start off with the Soda Springs Cardinals. And they're brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, the most caring hospital on earth. Starting lineups for the Cardinals are going to look like this. It is going to be Callie Groning leading things off. Number 4 is Katie Franson. She'll be playing as one of the outside hitters. Number 5 is Kaylin Lewis. Number 13 is Katie Sims. Haley Ledbetter will be on the outside and is one of the defensive specialists. And Lexi Patterson, look for her up in the middle for the Soda Springs Cardinals. On the other side, for the Malad Lady Dragons, look for a veteran starting lineup from this squad as they will really be bringing a top quality group to the table. It is going to be junior Hannah Peterson leading things off for this squad. Behind her is going to be junior Sammy Williams. Behind her is a senior, Taya Thorpe, leading things off, one of the veterans from this team's run last year. Number 3 is Tabor Paskett, also one of the veterans from last year's team, one of these 7 seniors that they are returning to this squad. Peyton Tripp will be wearing the number 4 for the Malad Lady Dragons. And Riley Tripp is wearing the number 13. The libero is number 21, Casey Sorensen. Or Lindsay Sorensen, excuse me, as she will be out there for the Soda Springs, or excuse me, the Malad Lady Dragons as well. 2 teams are running to center court, those slap hands, and we will be underway here at the home of the Malad Dragons, as again, the Cardinals look to try and upset the defending state champions here on their own home court as they get the season started underway at the conference level. Soda Springs will be out there wearing their white sleeveless tops with red trim all around, red numbers, and Cardinals written across the top of the back of the uniforms, black spandex and black knee pads as well. Of course, the shoes varying in color from pink on Kaylin Lewis all the way to white and red on Kaylee Veely and Jessie Belknap. Over on the other side, the Malad Lady Dragons will be wearing their orange tops with black numbers up on the left side of the jersey, as well as a black number on the back with no script written. The libero will be wearing a black jersey with the name on the back, as well as orange numbers and white sleeved trims. It will be Malad opening up with the serve here at home as they get the conference season underway. Thank you again for joining us here on KBRV 800 The Bear. This first serve brought to you by Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is in Soda Springs. Make sure that you visit them today. Back to open up the serve is going to be Peyton Tripp as the senior lines one across, dugout in the back row. Ledbetter gets it up to Groning. Near side, it's Lewis pounding one to the backside and into the net. They're going to say goes the body of Riley Tripp, the senior, and the Cardinals jump out to a 1-0 lead in the early going. Good start for the Cardinals here. Let's see if they can take advantage as Callie Groning will go back on the near side of the court from right to left. She'll serve. Line drive to the near side, pass forward, set to the middle of the court, and up goes Tripp. Drops one down past Groning. Riley Tripp destroyed that ball down the center. A great assist coming on that play from Peyton Tripp, her sister. So the Cardinals give the serve right back over to Malad and the Lady Dragons. It'll be Hannah Peterson to serve this time. The tall girl walks up, sends one over. Dug out back row. Groning sets this one up from the 10-foot line for Patterson. It's blocked at the net. Patterson gets a second chance. Blocked again. Groning with a nice scramble to save that one. Patterson gets a third chance and drops it down. She just took a couple of tries, but finally was able to get it over and through the blocks of Riley Tripp, and Lexi Patterson gets the first kill on the board for the Lady Cardinals. 2-1 Cardinals on top here, set number one in what is a very important match for these two teams. Back to serve is going to be Sage McKinley as she checks in as a defensive specialist for the Cardinals. Line drive serve dug out in the back row by Sorensen. It's going to be set to the back row where it's freed over to Ledbetter. She'll play this one forward. Groning back sets this one where Franson hits it well deep on the backside. Katie Franson had the right idea, but her run-up was just a little bit too early, and it's all knotted up at 2 here in the first set. Back to serve now is Riley Tripp for the Lady Dragons. Her serve to the back row. Pass forward by Ledbetter. Groning bumps this one to the back row where Ledbetter hits it to the backside and just a foot outside the line on the near side of the court. Ledbetter, again, the right idea. She found the open spot in the court but just couldn't direct it in. Back to serve again is going to be the body of Riley Tripp. Played forward, and the Cardinals are going to have a misplay in the back row as Katie Sims had passed it too quickly to the front line, and it goes down as a hitting error for Katie Sims as she could not control the serve. This time it goes into the net, though. Riley Tripp picks up her first service error of the match. First one for the Dragons, and it is 4-3 Dragons on top by 1 here in set number one. Cardinals send Kaylin Lewis back to serve. Quick match going on here as Lewis's serve popped up in the back row. Thorpe gets this one up forward, and it's set up in the back row just beyond the back line as the kill of Tabor Paskett. Another good set from Peyton Tripp, but Paskett just couldn't keep it in the lines. We're knotted up at 4. So Lewis to serve again. Dug out in the back row by Peterson. Tripp sets it to the far side, and Paskett drops one down. A dig from Groning got it into the air, but it went underneath the net, and the Cardinals give it right back over to the Dragons after Paskett makes up for the hitting error and gets the kill. Tripp with her second assist as Taya Thorpe goes back to serve. This one catches the back line. Sage McKinley thought about going for it, instead let it drop behind her, and it was just onto the line. A very tough decision for Sage on that play. 6-4 now your score here, set number one. Dragons on top by 2. Thorpe with the serve across, passed up by Groning. Franson sets this middle for Sims, and Sims drops one off the backhand as reaching out for it was Thorpe, and it drops away as Franson picks up her first assist of the match. Sims gets her first kill, and the Cardinals get back within 1, 6-5. Serve goes across. Dug out back to the Cardinals side. Groning bumps this one to the net. It goes over the net, climbs forward, and punched back over to the Cardinals side. Groning, another set, this time to Ledbetter. Blocked at the net and down. Sammy Williams with the block that sends it back to the Cardinals side, and it's back to a 7-5 lead for the Lady Dragons of Malad. Back to serve, Tabor Paskett. Serve to the back row. Ledbetter, good pass forward. Groning sets this one middle to Sims. She'll send it to the back corner of the far side, just outside the lines. Katie Sims just could not quite keep it in, and the Cardinals go down by 3. Another good play, though, for Soda Springs. They've had a very consistent start to this match as that ball dug back over to the Dragons. And pounding it down, Hannah Peterson not giving it a second thought as she sends that one back down into the face of the Cardinals. It's 9-5 now, Cardinals down 4. Serve comes over, dug out well, McKinley gets it to Groning. Back to McKinley, who frees it over into the back corner. Punched up into the air by Thorpe, played over to the far side and just over the court, but into the net. They're going to say went Hannah Peterson and the Cardinals get the point and the serve back. 9-6 your score here at the home of the Dragons, as Patterson will check back in, the big girl up onto the front line for the Cardinals. That's something that they need to see her up there quite a bit. Sims to serve, sends one over, dug out in the back row by Tripp. Played over to the far side and into the block. Patterson with the block at the net, denying Sammy Williams, and it goes down as a block for Patterson and a point to the Cardinals. 9-7, they trail by 2. Sims serve, dug out near side, over the foul pole, just popped up into the air, and they're going to say outside of the antenna, although the official with a poor call on that one, in my opinion, from up here, and they're going to replay the points, as it was a very good tip over the net. I believe it was Sammy Williams who got it, and we'll replay it. 9-7, the score goes back. Sims to serve, sends it over, dug out back row, played up to Peyton Tripp, who sends it over to the far side. A smart hit, but over to the Cardinals. They have another chance, and Ledbetter can't get on top of the ball, hits it too strong over to the back line, and the Cardinals do give up the point. It's 10-7, Malad up by 3. Cardinals playing tough, though, with the Dragons. Back to serve Riley Tripp. She'll send this one over, dug out, back over to the Dragons side, and pounded down. Hannah Peterson again. You give her that free ball up at the net, and she takes advantage of it every time. Has not missed one of those yet. 11-7 they lead now, as again Sorensen serves it over. Dug out to Groning. She tips it up into the net. Not enough, though, to get it over, and Callie Groning picks up her first hitting error of the match. It's 12-7 now. Sorensen back to serve once again. Lindsay runs up and sends it over. Dug out near side, but Lewis just couldn't get her body all the way in front of it, and it goes as an ace now to Lindsay Sorensen, and a timeout is going to be called by the Cardinals on the near side as they want to talk things over with head coach Shawnee Thompson. They've come out strong so far, playing well, but they've just been giving up a little bit too much to the Dragons. They're slightly off on some of their hits, and the Dragons have been able to capitalize, particularly on a couple of digs that went back to their side, and Hannah Peterson did not let the Cardinals get away with it like some of the other teams have. Remind you, this first set brought to you by A&C Embroidery. They're in the business of making your business or team look good. Call them today, 208-604-1775. Also brought to you by London Drug in Grace. They're locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. They're your local good neighbor pharmacy. 13-7, Cardinals trail here in set number 1 in front of a very full house here at the home of the Malad Lady Dragons. Plenty of fans here for the Cardinals, though, did make the hour-long trip, as to my right, they are filling up the bleachers. A good 20 to 30 fans over there. Cardinals set to receive the serve once again from Sorensen. Left to right, she'll serve into the net. No, it climbs over. Lexi Patterson ducked down, and it dropped right behind her back, and it goes as an ace to Lindsay Sorensen. That is her second, and the Cardinals go down by 7, 14-7 on a big run by the Dragons. Ball dug out back row. Groning bump sets it back to the middle, and Lewis frees it to the back. Played forward now. Tabor Paskett frees this one forward to the hit of Peyton Tripp, who pounds it down on the far side. That's Hannah Peterson. Peterson with her third kill, Tripp with her third assist, and it's 15-7. A 5-point run here for the Dragons. Serve comes over again from Sorensen. Good dig forward. Groning sets it middle. Patterson sends one down, but Sorensen's right there to pop it up. Tripp to the far side. Sets this one up and dropped down by Peterson. Cardinals good dig in the back row, though. Ledbetter and Patterson collide for the ball. It somehow climbs over. Free ball back to the Cardinals. Ledbetter gets another chance and mishits it at the net. Haley Ledbetter got a second chance and couldn't take advantage of it. Those are the type of things the Cardinals need to use if they're going to try and stay with the Dragons. 16-7. Serve comes back over again. Dug out back row. Groning tries to tip it over, blocked at the net, and the Cardinals scramble to try and get it up over the net, but it's all going to come down in front of them as Riley Tripp picks up her third block of the match, and it's 17-7. Cardinals down by double digits on the service run coming from Sorensen in the back row. The libero will walk up, and this time she sends it into the net, and frustration comes into her face as she realized the mishit on the serve right away and pumps her fist going, I got to do better. But a good run by her, 7 straight points as the Cardinals trail 17-8. Ledbetter serves one across, played forward. Tripp sets it to the far side. Down goes another block, as this time it was Hannah Peterson again dropping a hammer, getting the kill. A diving try to keep the ball up into the air came from Riley Patterson. and the Cardinals go down by 10 once again, 18-8. Good hustle coming from the Cardinals, but right now, this is Malad team showing why they're the defending state champions. Tripp to send it over, and she sends it right at Katie Sims, who can't handle it, and it's Peyton Tripp picking up her first ace of the match. That's the third ace for the Malad Dragons. It's 19-8. Tripp to serve again. Lines one over, back row. Sims again can't play it well. It's going to be the Cardinals with a chance to get it over, but Ledbetter was about 30 feet back from the net, trying to free it all the way across, and it ends up dropping just short. Unfortunately for her, it goes as a hitting error, but it was not necessarily anything more than just a good serve. Serve comes across again. Cardinals miscommunicate with everybody, and now they're getting on each other down there in the huddle, and Sorensen sees that, and she wants to talk things over to calm her team down. Good timeout called here by Coach Sorensen, with the score sitting at 21-8, and again, just complete miscommunication on the Cardinals there as they let that ball drop down after nobody really reacted to getting it forward. They had plenty of chances there. And again, it's just the small mistakes that they've been making that Malad and the Lady Dragons have really been taking advantage of. I was talking with one of the assistant coaches for the Cardinals this year, and she was saying in this game she's looking for this team to at least keep it in the 20s. Keep themselves close, keep the matches close, and the Cardinals right now, again, letting those little mistakes, things that you can clean up, things that you can touch up, keep them away from getting this match and staying in this match with the Dragons. They trail by 13, 21-8, set number one. Back to serve again is Peyton Tripp. She's the setter and one of the senior leaders for this team, as well as one of the daughters for Coach Cammie Tripp. Ball served over. Sims too far into the net as it's blocked at the net. Sending it down once again is Hannah Peterson as she picks up her first block to go with her 4 kills, and it's 22-8, a 14-point lead. Serve goes into the net this time as Peyton Tripp tried to hit it too hard, and she picks up her first service error. 22-9, Cardinals needing a run here to try and at least get some confidence going into set number 2. It'll be Callie Groning to serve. Callie sends one over down the middle, dug out back row, played forward to Tripp. She sets this one into the middle. It's going to be pounded down, almost dug out by Katie Sims, but getting the kill is Riley Tripp as she comes up from her middle position and hammers it down. Assist again goes to Peyton Tripp, and the Cardinals go back down onto the defensive end. Groning sets it to the near side. It's going to be pounded down by Franson. The Dragons are going to be able to free this one across. Ledbetter digs this one out, and now Patterson tries to find some open ground. Can't do it, though. The ball's bump set over by Kenna Cummins, then tipped over the net and dropped down. Coming up with the kill on that one, Tabor Paskett gets her first, as Kenna Cummins made a good job stepping up to the assist after the ball went into the hands of Peyton Tripp on the first hit over by the Cardinals. Ball served over again. This one just on the line, says the line judge on the far side, and that wraps up set number 1. 25-9, a dominating first set performance coming from the Malad Lady Dragons in that one, as they didn't even let the Cardinals breathe in that matchup. We'll take a break, come back with more here on KBRV's coverage of Soda Springs Cardinals volleyball on mylocalradio.com with live video streaming. Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 10th through the 16th. Then we start off with lunchtime, as you can grab yourself peanut butter jars, 2 for $3. Farm bread as well, 4 packs for $5. And they even have Tampico gallon select varieties of punch, 99 cents a piece. If you're looking for something for dinner, country style ribs, $1.49 a pound, or ground beef, $3.79 a pound. And wrap it all up with Tillamook ice cream, select varieties for $3.99. All at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home.
Read all the best books.
Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Malad Lady Dragons, as it's the conference opener for the Soda Springs Lady Cardinals, and they did not have a very good first set, losing 25-9 to the Malad Dragons, who were led in that first set with a dominating performance by Hannah Peterson, but also Riley Tripp. 5 points for Riley Tripp, including 3 blocks as well in that first set. Peyton Tripp had a good first match as well, first set as well. 5 assists for the Cardinals. Really not a whole lot of numbers to talk about. Only 2 kills. They did have 8 hitting errors, hitting it into the net. No service errors, though. They did have 1 block from Lexi Patterson, who had a kill as well. 1 ace from Katie Franson, and Haley Ledbetter with an assist in the match. But the Cardinals offense really found no rhythm as they look to try and change that around. Coming back here, it'll be Callie Groning to serve it across to get things underway in set number 2 as she serves it from left to right. Serve comes over, dug out cleanly in the back row by Paskett. She'll send it near side, and sending one down to Lewis is going to be one of the members of the Dragons. Lewis gets a chance to send it back down and across, and Lewis gets the kill. Lewis dropped one down right in front of a diving Kenna Cummins, and finally the Cardinals get back to the offense that we've known them to run, and Groning gets her first assist. 1-0 Cardinals take the 1-point advantage here in set number 2. They need to have a strong set here to build advantage. Groning serves one over, dug out back row by Sorensen, set to the near side by Tripp, coming down and pounding it off the block. Hannah Peterson, she is a beast, getting her 5th kill, and another assist goes to Peyton Tripp. The teamwork between those two and the precision by Tripp at the net has been phenomenal to this point in time. 1-1 here at the home of the Malad Lady Dragons, as the officials are going to talk things over on the far side. Not sure what exactly they're discussing on that side, as the near side, the down official, was called over to the far side of the court. Thank you again for joining us here on KBRV 800 The Bear, your home for Cardinals volleyball. We'll be on air again tomorrow night, just to let you know, with another match, as North Gem and the Lady Cowgirls will be coming over to the home of the Cardinals. First serve is set for about 7:15 on that match, with the pregame show starting at about 7 o'clock, as the Cardinals will look to return home and move to a 2-1 record at home if they can win that match against North Gem and the Lady Cowgirls. And again, this match really a deciding factor for the Cardinals on where they need to grow, how much they need to grow, and what they need to grow up on, as this team that they're playing against, one of the more solid teams, they're going to play all season, and it helps with them being in the conference, although it does mean that they have to get through them to get to state this year once they go to the district tournament, as 2 teams will come out of District 5 this year, which means the Cardinals and pretty much everybody else in the conference in the district, including Aberdeen, Westside, Bear Lake, and the Cardinals, are fighting for second place. Back to serve is Tripp. She sends it across now as we're back underway. Groning bump sets this one to Patterson. She tries to drop one down, but right there's Sorensen. Tripp sets it up near side again, and pounding one down that's dug back to the Cardinals or Dragon side is Peterson. Tripp sets it back to the far side, and into the net goes Kenna Cummins as she picks up her first hitting error, and it goes to a 2-1 score. Cardinals back up by 1 on the mistake made by the outside hitter for the Dragons, but again, not a major mistake for her, as that one just went too far into the net after a dig over to their side. One of the few mistakes they've made as Sage McKinley comes into the game, serves it across, back set by Tripp, over to the far side. Peterson off the block, bumped up by Groning, and on the line, she keeps it in. The Cardinals get the kill by Groning. A little bit lucky there, but you have to take the luck when you get it, and they go up by 2. It's 3-1, back to serve Sage McKinley once again. Cardinals trying to build a lead and try and hold on to it as well. McKinley awaits the whistle, now left to right, she'll serve again. Ball dug out by Sorensen, but she can't get under it. Tried to slide to her right, and it's going to go as an ace for Sage McKinley. That's her first of the match, and it's 4-1. Cardinals with a 3-point advantage. Ball served over by McKinley again. Short serve, dug out. Tripp sets this one back to Peterson, who drops it home. The junior with her 6th kill of the match has been having a match to remember so far in the early going, looking to try and keep that up. 2-4, Cardinals up by 2. Dragons with the serve as Peterson heads to the back row. Sends one well long off the back line. Hannah Peterson picks up the third service error of the match for the Dragons, and the Cardinals get back up by 3, 5-2. Back to serve is going to be Lewis. Kalen sends a high one to the back row. Sorensen passes it too far at the net, into the net. It drops down. The ace goes to Lewis as she picked on the right person. The second ace of the set for the Cardinals and the third of the match. 6-2, they lead by 4. Kaylin Lewis to send it across. Dug out by Peterson. Played to Tripp. Into the middle. She sends this one to Riley Tripp. Dug out back over to the Dragon side. Popped up into the air after it's passed forward. Over to Ledbetter. She'll flip this one over. Played forward by Peterson. Tripp again sets this one back, and Cummins is going to send it over. Lewis right there with the dig, though, as Groning is going to be called for the double hit on the set and doesn't even argue it, agrees with it, and it's going to be a hitting error on Groning, her second. Good run by the Cardinals there, though, 6-3. They look to have regained some of their composure. The serve comes across again. Groning up into the air. Ledbetter sets this one to the middle, and Sims freezes across to the back row. Peterson plays it forward. Tripp into the middle of the court she goes. Up into the air, it's dug out, but the kill goes to Sammy Williams as she was able to punch one down into the back row. Trying to get it into the air was Lewis, but just couldn't get enough under it. That'll send Riley Tripp back to serve. The senior sends it over, dug out by Groning. Set up at the net by Franson, but too close to the net as Ledbetter got trapped there, and Franson ends up picking up the hitting error on that one as she just could not control the pass to the far side. 6-5, Dragons back within 1. Ball served over and too deep. Riley Tripp picks up her second service error, and the Cardinals will take that one back within 2, or up by 2, I should say, 7-5. Franson to serve, sends one to the back row, misplayed on a lift as Peterson couldn't play it well, and it goes as an ace to the back row for Katie Franson. She picks up her second ace, and the Cardinals back up by 3. Franson serve to the back row. Peterson again the lift, and another ace goes to Franson. Back-to-back aces for Katie. 9-5, Cardinals approaching double digits here, trying to keep themselves in front. Katie again picks over on Peterson. Tripp sets it to the near side, pounding it down, and out of bounds goes the dig. Tabor Paskett, the senior outside hitter, found good ground and dropped it home. 9-6, but the Cardinals get back up by 3 on that run of offensive possessions. Taya Thorpe checks into the matchup. Out of the game goes Cummins, and Thorpe will serve from the back row right to left. She walks up, sends one down. Yamauchi into the game for the first time, but passes it up into the hands of Groning. Good hit from the far side by Ledbetter, but dunk out by Sorensen. It gives Peterson a try from the back row. She's dug out by Yamauchi. Over to the far side. Lewis tries to find some dirt down there. Can't find it, and it dug out into the net, and the Cardinals are going to come away with another point. Give the kill on the far back row to Kaylin Lewis, who came up to kill that one down. Groning gets her second assist of the match, and it goes back to a 4-point lead for Soda, 10-6, as back to serve will be the freshman Katie Sims. She'll send one near side with some spin on it. Dug out over to Tripp. Near side it comes, and down goes the ball from Tabor Paskett, and again she gets the kill. Her fourth of the match, 10 assists now for Peyton Tripp, who has been on point with no hitting errors, and it's 10-7. Back to serve is going to be the hand of Tabor Paskett. She sends one over and drops one down for the ace right in front of Kaylin Lewis, who couldn't quite move over in time, and Paskett picks up her second ace of the match. She'll be back to serve once again. Tabor's serve deep to the back row. Yamauchi digs this one out. Groning sets this one forward, and it's going to be Ledbetter sending it to the back row, where Sorensen passes it up ahead to Tripp for the Dragons. To Peterson, who you don't give her a chance. That is clear like that. Peterson, no block in front of her, kills it for her 7th, and 11 aces now, or assists now, I should say, for Peyton Tripp. Ball served over once again. Played up into the air. Groning frees this to the back row. Punched up forward by Thorpe. Set up by Tripp and blocked at the net and just scrambled back over. Cardinals offense will have another chance. It's going to be punched over by Ledbetter. Tripp is going to send this one down, getting the kill on herself instead of going for the assist. She drops down the kill, gets her first of the match. There was a beautiful block on that by Haley Ledbetter, but it goes for naught. We're knotted up at 10. Back to serve now, once again, is going to be Paskett. Her serve on the back line goes down, and the Dragons go up by 1 on the ace by Paskett. That's her third. 11-10, Cardinals down by 1. They've led by as many as 4 in the set. Down 1 set to nothing as well, but the Dragons finding their rhythm. This ball served over, pass forward, Groning, good pass, good set to Patterson, blocked at the net, no. Groning has another chance, and it's free to cross by Ledbetter. Pass forward, Tripp is going to set this one up in the middle, tipped across where Groning keeps that one alive. Nobody reacted as Yamauchi was late to get there, and it drops down after the hit coming across by Sammy Williams. She also got a block on that one, but it goes as a hitting error on Callie Groning. That's her third. Ball back to the Cardinals. Free to cross by Ledbetter. 12-10, they trail as Tripp sets up near side. Peterson! The hard kill for her 8th of the match, and she keeps the lead growing for the Malad Dragons, 13-10. And 5-point run coming from the back row where Paskett continues to serve. She'll pass it forward, does Lewis. Groning sends this one to the back row, played up as Taya sets it to Tripp, I should say. Played back to the Cardinals. Lewis passes up to Groning, over to Ledbetter, drops one down. Peterson sticks out an arm to keep it alive, and then a mistake by Taya Thorpe. She lifted the ball, and the Cardinals get the point and the serve back. Down by 2, 13-11. It'll be Ledbetter to serve, as she will send this one into the net. Couldn't get it high enough into the air. Haley picks up her first service error to go with her 4 hitting errors, and back to serve will be Sorensen for the Dragons. She was the one who led the big run for them in the first set, and she's going to have another chance to do it here as Sims can't control the serve. Lindsay Sorensen with her 3rd ace of the match, and it goes to a 15-11 lead. The Dragons up by 4 in set number 1. Sorensen to serve once again. Walks up, lines one over. Dug out back row by Ledbetter. Groning sets it up to Patterson. She'll pound one down. Peterson, I should say, gets a hand on it, and Sorensen frees one over into the back row. Ledbetter dug that one out despite the fact it was going out of bounds, and on the line, the Cardinals are going to get the kill. So the Cardinals take advantage on the far side as I believe it was Groning who was the one who sent it across the net. I may be wrong on that one, but it ends up dropping down on the orange line, and it's 15-12. Cardinals back within 3. They end the service run of Sorensen quickly. 3-point lead as the down official comes over, talks to the table. After having a quick word, he'll come out, and it's a rotation violation coming on the Malad Dragons. So it was going to be a Cardinals point anyways. So there is no kill, and the Cardinals will receive the point. It's still 15-12, and a 3-point advantage as Callie Groning will go back to serve. Yamauchi checks out. Back into the game goes Franson as an outside hitter and also a backup setter. So Groning, the senior captain, one of the senior captains, I should say, for the Cardinals to serve. Waits on the officials as they're still talking over on the near side. Whistle blows, and Groning will send this one across. High arcing serve, dug out by Peterson, played to Tripp. She'll send it near side. Peterson drops it down, and right like that, the Dragons get back up into this one with the pounded down shot from Tripp and Peterson combining again on the kill. 16-13. Ball served across now. Dug out back into the net. Groning tried to keep it alive. It drops down though, and it goes as an ace to the back row of Peyton Tripp. Tripp will walk up and serve it again. Dug out back row. Lewis to Groning. Far side it goes Franson. She hits it into the net and drops it down as Franson couldn't get it high enough into the air. Her 3rd hitting error, and it's 18-13. Cardinals down 5. Tripp to serve again. Lines one deep. Oh, I might disagree with that one by the official call. The line judge called it in. That one was very close, but it goes as another ace to Peyton Tripp, and it's 19-13. Ball served over again. Ledbetter to Groning. Sets this one up for Patterson, who tips that one into the net cords. Missed time to run, and Lexi Patterson comes up with a mistake, and the Cardinals again starting to shoot themselves in the foot here in set number 2. Down 1-0. Ball served across. Ledbetter digs this one too far at the net. Jousted for at the net by Patterson. Can't get it over. Now punches it over and somehow drops it down. The assist goes to Sorensen. And Peterson gets the kill for her 10th of the match, and a timeout is called by head coach Shawnee Thompson of the Cardinals, trying to calm her team down as they're down 21-13, 8 points here as the Dragons have pulled themselves out in front. Want to remind you the first serve of this set and all sets brought to you by Arctic Circle. That's where the good stuff is in Soda Springs. Please swing by there today. Tell them that the Cardinals, you saw it during the Cardinals, I should say, or heard about them during the Cardinals. And tell you what, you'll find yourself with a delicious meal of some people that really support Soda Springs Volleyball on not just Soda Springs Volleyball, but Soda Springs sports in general. They're also the sponsor for our pregame coaches interviews on the football game, which if you're thinking about a football game, be sure to tune in Friday night. American Falls travels to Soda Springs for a homecoming matchup with the Soda Springs Cardinals taking them on at 7. Pregame goes on the air on KBRV at 6:30. Back to serve again, Peyton Tripp as the senior will get set to line one over to the Cardinals. Right to left her serve goes. Line drive, dug out back row by Sims. Played forward by Groning, and it's going to be Franson trying to drop one down, but right there is Tripp. Pass near side. Peterson's going to be off balance when she tries to get it over. Dug out, though, by Sims, and hit from the back row by Ledbetter. Kept alive, though. Near side, Thorpe comes over. Peterson into the block, and down it goes. Patterson coming up with the block on that one. A strong showing at the net again, and the Cardinals get back with the serve, 21-14. That's also the first time that they've been able to stop Hannah Peterson in the match. Back to serve now is Sage McKinley. Peterson gets it up into the air. Tripp back sets this one to Peterson. She'll have another chance, drops it down, and too high goes the dig of Groning into the ceiling. And Peterson, after being blocked, says, "You can't block me twice. You can't block me once without not paying for it." 22-14, and Peterson will be back to serve as into the match is going to come Taylor Myers, and out comes Haley Ledbetter. The sophomore will take a seat for the other sophomore in this team for the Cardinals as Peterson serves the cross. Dug out back row. Played forward to Groning. She'll set this one middle for Katie Sims, who hits it too far off the back line. Sims picks up her third hitting error of the match, and it's 23-14 now. Cardinals down by 9, and it's going to be 2 points away from set point. Ball served over again. Peterson gets it to Sims, dug out by Groning, over to Lewis, who's blocked at the net. Another chance for the Cardinals, tipped over the block and down. Franson with the heads-up kill as she just tipped it softly over the net, and the Cardinals get the serve back, 23-15. They trail. A beautiful block at the net, though. You got to give some credit to Tabor Paskett, who picks up her first. Or excuse me, yeah, that is Paskett. So the ball served over by the Cardinals. Left to right, they serve it. Tripp sets it up near side for Paskett, who's blocked herself at the net. Sims with the block that time. Katie comes up strong at the net, and the Cardinals get back within 7, 23-16. A much better showing here in set number 2. Kaylin Lewis to serve. The former libero sends it into the net, though. From left to right, couldn't get it over, and she picks up the first service error of the match for the Cardinals. 24-16. Back to serve this one across is going to be Emma Peterson, the junior. She'll send it into the net. So Emma Peterson gives the ball right back over to Soda, and it's 24-17. Cardinals still taking around within 7 points. Katie Franson to serve. Back row, sends it over. Sorensen gives this to Tripp. She back sets it far side, and it's pounded off the block. Kept alive by the Cardinals, though. Franson passes it forward, and Groning can't get it up over the net, and it goes down as a hitting error on her. Cardinals lose the second set, 25-17. They're down 2 sets to none, but they showed major improvements going into that second set, and they'll hope to get some momentum going into set number 3 here at the home of the Malad Lady Dragons on KBRV 800 The Bear, and live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Mlad Lady Dragons. Kayla Bergraff here alongside my camera lady, Zippy Thompson. And thank you to Zippy for standing beside me, as I was not nice enough to get her a seat, so she is toughing it out standing up right beside me. As the serve comes across, Cardinals back into the action. Third set underway, ball free to cross back over to the Dragons, and it's going to be set over to Peterson, into the block but out of bounds. A good block at the net came there from Lexi Patterson, but Hannah Peterson gets her 12th kill and makes them pay. That first serve brought to you by Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is, in Soda Springs. Peyton Tripp to serve over once again, dug out by the Cardinals and misplayed as Ledbetter couldn't get a clean pass, and Peyton Tripp gets her 4th ace of the match, the 11th for Mlad and the Dragons. They go out 2-0 in the early going of set number 3, up 2-0. Ball served over again. Dug out over to the far side. Groning sets this one to the middle, and Franson frees across to the back row. Sorensen pass up ahead to Tripp into the middle of the court. Down goes the kill. Riley Tripp hooking up with her sister as the two of them combined for the 15th kill for Peyton Tripp, and it's 3-0 now. Cardinals down by triple to the Dragons of Mlad. Ball served over once again. Ledbetter, good clean pass up to Groning. Near side it goes. Lewis tries to hit one back row, but right there to dig it out is Paskett. Tripp sets it up for Paskett. Back row kill, finds the inside of the line, and Tabor Paskett gets her 5th kill of the match, and yet another assist goes to Peyton Tripp. She continues to add to her total there, and it's a 4-0 start here on the serve of Tripp in the back row. Peyton will walk up, and now she'll line one over. Good dig out, though, by the Cardinals. Groning sets this one to the near side where Franson frees it over. Cummins up ahead to Tripp. She'll set this one cleanly at the net. Into the block goes her sister, Riley Tripp, as that's going to go as a hitting error. They're going to say actually into the net, and the point goes to the Cardinals. Down 4-1, but back on the offensive end, they can try and run some. It's going to be Groning to serve. She'll send one across, dug out by Sorensen, Sorensen to Tripp. Near side Peterson, dug out on the back row, but Peterson again, there's too much pace on that to try and keep it clean when you're trying to dig it out, so you have to come up and block that one at the net, especially when it's going to her. Peterson will run up and serve it across again. That one back row popped up by Lewis, played forward and punched over the net by Groning. Another chance though by the Dragons, as that time Cummins hits it down. It goes up into the ceiling on the Myers dig, and it's going to be Cummins getting her 1st kill of the match. Another assist goes to the senior Peyton Tripp. She has 19 now in the match. Back to serve once again is going to be Peterson. She'll run up, sends one into the net, one of the few mistakes she's made. The 2nd service error of the match for her, and it's going to be 6-2. Cardinals back with the serve. In this Sage McKinley, as she'll run the opening of this next point. 6-2, the Cardinals trail. Right to left, the serve from McKinley goes. Dug out well, but over to the Cardinals side. Punch back down as Sims is able to come up with the kill. Sims reacting well to the dig of Lewis in the back row, and the Cardinals get back within 3, cutting the deficit in half. 6-3, they trail. Serve comes over by McKinley. Dug out by Sorensen. Set up over to the far side, and down comes the shot from Paskett. Cardinals can't dig it out well. Diving well outside the court lines is Groning to try and save it, but Paskett picks up her 6th kill of the match, and that is the 20th assist for Peyton Tripp. Back to serve is going to be Riley Tripp. Her serve short, dug out back towards the net. Cardinals a chance to free this one across, and they're not going to be able to do it as Sims thought there were only 2 hits, and instead of sending it across, she popped it right up into the air. So the Cardinals, trailing here 8-3, send it over. Dug out back row. Groning sets it over to McKinley, who sends one into the net from the back row. McKinley didn't get enough on it and tried to put some spin on it, and instead of getting it over the net, send it right into the net, as back to serve again will be Riley Tripp. The senior sends it across. Dug out back row. Groning sets this one to the near side where Lewis frees it across, where Peterson gets it up ahead to Tripp. Set into the middle, whiffed on by Sammy Williams, but she got just enough of it to clear the net cords, and it drops down. Thompson's going to call a timeout as Shawnee wants to talk it over with her team. 10-3 they trail, and again, a lot of confusion coming from the Soda Springs Cardinals as they have not looked clean so far this entire set. 10-3 they trail. Set number 3. Set number 2 was their cleanest set of the match where they lost by 8, 25-17. They lost the first set 25-9, and really, again, the Cardinals offense just, there's been nothing to it. Coming into this set, they had 7 total kills in the first 2 sets. One kill coming from Katie Sims in this set, so 8 total kills in the match. They only have 4 assists in the match, 5 aces in the match, and 4 blocks in the match. So really it just has been a concert of missed opportunities for the Cardinals to this point in time, and a lot of growth being shown now that they're taking on one of the better teams, probably maybe the best team they'll face all season long in a Malad Dragons team that looks to be picking up right where they left off. 10-3, Cardinals trail by 7. Back to serve this one is Riley Tripp. She'll send one to the back row. Dug out back row to Groning. It's going to be played forward where Sims comes up, tries to hit across. Peterson pops up into the air, and a free ball played back over to the Cardinals. Myers up ahead to Groning. She hits it to the middle of the court where McKinley frees one back over to Peterson in the back row. Tripp sets it over to the far side. A free ball again comes over where it's dug back up and swatted across by Franson. Tripp another chance though as she sends this one over the net. Sammy Williams a chance to kill, but blocked at the net by Sims. And then outside the lines goes the kill attempt of Riley Tripp, and the Cardinals scramble enough to keep that point alive. Katie Sims comes up with her second block of the match, and it's 10-4. Back to serve is Kaylin Lewis. She'll send one just over the net. Peterson, good dig up to Tripp. Near side Cummins pops one up into the air where it's played up into the air by McKinley. Groning gets the good pass and now fires it over to Franson. Dug out in the back row. Tripp to Cummins over to the far side. Off the block and out of bounds goes the kill of Tabor Paskett, who picks up her 10th. Kenna Cummins gets the assist as the senior picks up her second, and it's 11-4. Now Cardinals down by 7. That will send Taya Thorpe back to serve. The senior will send one high and arcing back over. Dug out back row by Groning. Franson sets it near side, punched over the net cords by Myers, but freed back across and too far outside the line. Coming up too strong on that attempt was Peyton Tripp, who picks up her first hitting error of the match. 11-5, Cardinals down by 6. Serve comes across, dug up high into the air. Tripp sets this one into the middle and is punched over by Peterson. Cardinals a chance to play this one. Franson sets it to the middle to Sims. Too strong off the back line as Katie Sims comes up with her 4th hitting error. The offense ran well, just too hard on the hit, as she did not finish the strike down. And that's what one of the coaches on the sideline for the Cardinals is explaining to her from the bench. 12-5, Cardinals down by 7. Serve comes over. Dug out back row by Yamauchi. Over to Lewis, and then it's freed across by Myers. Good spin on it though, but Tripp is going to have a chance to set this one up. Does, and through the block goes Sammy Williams. The junior, another hard kill, and another assist goes to Peyton Tripp, who has 22 in the match. 13-5 now the score goes. Cardinals down by 8 here on the road against the Malad Dragons. Serve over the net cords. Dug out and misplayed on the dig. Yamauchi could not quite cleanly get it. Tabor Paskett picks up her 4th ace, tied for the team lead in that category with Peyton Tripp. Has a chance to give herself the lead with another one. 14-5, Cardinals down 9 now. Left to right serve is going to be misplayed as Myers and McKinley did not consult with each other on who's going to get it, and it just kind of dropped down to the floor. And as I say that, Paskett picks up her 5th ace. She'll have another serve coming. High, arcing one short. That's a third straight ace. 6 of them now for Paskett. As she sent that one short, Cardinals didn't react. Their feet stuck in quicksand as they're finding some quicksand holes in this court. Paskett serves again. Dug out this time by McKinley. Meyer bumps it forward and is free to cross by Sims. Played forward again. It's going to be Tripp over to the near side where Sammy Williams comes up with her 4th kill. Another assist for Peyton Tripp for 23 now. And it's 17-5. Another big run coming. Cardinals down 12. Jessie Belknap will check into the match. Serve came across by Paskett as she was a little bit too amped up to get it over. Substitution comes in though. Sims takes a seat on the bench as Belknap will check in for her as the middle blocker. Ball served across. Popped up in the air by McKinley. Groning sets it up near side, coming up and trying to get it down as Taylor Myers. It's going to be punched up into the net from the back row by Tabor Paskett, and the Cardinals get the kill due to Taylor Myers on the near side, getting the serve back to their own side. 17-6 they trail. It's McKinley checking out. Sims to check back in. They'll still check back in for Belknap. Patterson into the match as well as she replaced McKinley. And the Cardinals down by 11 will send it back to Sims to serve. So Sims takes a step forward, sends it into the net right away. The freshman unable to keep that one clean. The second service error for the Cardinals, and it's 18-16. Cardinals up by or down by 12. Back to serve will be Sorensen. Lindsay, the libero, wearing the number 21 in the black uniform, will try and close this out for her team. 7 points to go, and she gets an ace to make it 6 points to go. She pulls out her 4th ace of the match, putting her in a tie for second with Peyton Tripp. 19-6, that 13-point lead continues to grow. Sorensen serves it over, popped up by Yamauchi. Groning sets it towards the net. Patterson punches it over into the net cords. Goes the attempt to dig it out by Tripp, but Patterson gets her 2nd kill of the match. Another assist to Groning as she gets her 4th, and it's 19-7. Cardinals offense continues to struggle, but there have been some bright spots, just no consistency. Ball served over now by Myers. Up towards the net and is punched over, coming that time by Tripp. Instead of trying to set that one, it was dug too close to the net. She reacted well and punched it into the block, and then out of bounds went the ball. 20-17, back up by 13 as it's going to be Peyton Tripp to serve. Left to right, she sends one across. Dug back up towards the net, pop back down, back to the Dragon side, now back to the Cardinals side as it's swatted down, but the Cardinals react quickly, and Groning sends a free ball across. Played forward to Tripp. She'll send it far side. Peterson sends it too long, but Myers with the tip, and the ball goes out off her, and Hannah Peterson picks up her 14th kill. 10 assists for Peyton Tripp in this set. It's 21-7. Cardinals down by 14. Tripp to serve, sends one over. Yamauchi, good pass to Groning. She'll set it up towards the net. Patterson tries to drop one down. Sorensen's right there, though, for the Dragons. Near side, the set goes. Yamauchi digs it out after the kill attempt, and Lewis pops one into the block and through. Kaylin Lewis with her 3rd kill of the match. Groning gets the assist for her 5th, and the Cardinals get back within 13, 21-8. Again, trying to build some confidence here are the Soda Springs Cardinals, and back to serve will be Callie Groning. No aces for her in the match yet, trying to change that as she sends one high and short. Dug out, pop forward by Peterson. They'll set her up again on the near side, sends it long outside, and the Cardinals take advantage on Hannah Peterson's 1st hitting error of the match. That's 14 clean kills for Peterson. It'll be Groning back to serve again. Callie sends it up, sends it into the net. Couldn't quite get it over, and it's the 4th service error for the Cardinals in the match. 22-19. Cardinals down 13. And back to serve is going to be Hannah Peterson. She'll drop one short. Cardinals try to react to save it over, but they can't as it goes as an ace to Peterson. That's her 1st, and the one stat category she really hadn't been able to attract a number in. She still has no assists, but if you're playing like her on the offensive end, you don't need one. 23-9. Cardinals with a chance here. Groning gets it to Franson, pops it over, dugout, misplayed in the back row by Sorensen on the dig, and Katie Franson gets her 2nd kill. It's 23-10. It's a little too late for the Cardinals right now at this point, down by 13 with 2 points to go in the set, but they have again shown some progress here late in the set. McKinley serves it over for the Cardinals, checking in for Patterson. Tripp sets it far side, and the hit goes long but tipped in the back row by Meyer. And so getting that kill on the far side is Tabor Paskett, and that brings up match point. 24-10. Jesse Belknap will check in for Katie Sims at the front row, and it's going to be Kaylin Lewis checking into the back row to try and get a little bit of defense from the serve from Emma Peterson. Her serve goes well long off the back row. The error would give the Cardinals another chance. That's her second of the match, and it's 24-11. That 13-point lead still holding strong for the Dragons. Back to serve Lewis. She'll send one deep. Sorensen to Tripp, sets it up middle. Mistiming her run up to the net is Sammy Williams, and she picks up her first hitting error of the match. 24-12, Cardinals back within tow. Lewis to serve. Sends one high and deep. Dug out by Sorensen again. Tripp, another chance. Sets it near side. Misplaying her run up, but still getting it through the block is Taylor Thorpe. Her kill ends the match, ends the set. 25-12. Cardinals go down here in straight sets to the Malad Dragons, who prove that they are still the team to beat here in the District 5 area. That'll do it for that match. We'll take a break, come back with our final stats and wrap up of this one on KPRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 10th through the 16th. Then we start off with lunchtime, as you can grab yourself peanut butter jars, 2 for $3. Farm bread as well, 4 packs for $5. And they even have Tampico gallon select varieties of punch, 99 cents a piece. If you're looking for something for dinner, country style ribs, $1.49 a pound, or ground beef, $3.79 a pound. And wrap it all up with Tillamook ice cream, select varieties for $3.99. All at Lalaton's in Soda Springs. Welcome back out once again to the home of the Malad Lady Dragons, where they proved that they are definitely still the team to beat in District 5 after taking the state championship last year. They win in straight sets 25-9, 25-17, 25-12 over the Soda Springs Lady Cardinals in tonight's matchup. Let's take a look at the final numbers in this one. For the Malad Lady Dragons, Hannah Peterson, have yourself a night, 14 kills, only 1 hitting error in the match. She did have 2 service errors, 1 ace as well, and a block from her outside hitter position. Tabor Paskett, a strong game as well, 6 aces and 8 kills with only 1 hitting error and the block to go with that as well. Peyton Tripp ended up with 24 set assists, a strong night for her, 1 hitting error, 8 kills for her own credit, and 4 aces for the senior setter who did most of the work there. Kana Cummins had a kill as well as 2 assists. Lindsey Sorensen with an assist as well as 4 aces from her libero position. Sammy Williams had 4 kills. Riley Tripp had 3 kills, and the 2 of them combined for 5 blocks in the match. And Taya Thorpe wraps up the Malad Dragon stat sheet with 1 kill and 1 ace. As far as how the numbers go for them, 33 total kills for the team, 27 assists, 16 aces, and 7 blocks. They only had 8 errors in the entire match, so that is really their strong point. And on the other side, for service errors, they only had 6 of those in the entire match. On the other side for the Cardinals, they had 13 total kills and really spread those out well. Kaylin Lewis with 3, Callie Groning with a pair, as well as Katie Franson, 2 for Katie Sims and 2 for Lexi Patterson, then 1 apiece for Sage McKinley and Taylor Myers. As far as the hitting errors go, it was not necessarily a pretty game for the Cardinals, as they ended up with 16 hitting errors in the match, but really not a lot of chances to run their offensive sets in this one. As far as assists go, they had 6 total assists, and they ended up with 5 total aces, but none in that third set. They did have 5 blocks, though, so against a tough-hitting team like this Malad Dragons team, they really were able to kind of bounce back and play a little bit stronger on the defensive end, although, again, they had no blocks in that third set. That wraps us up here on this production of KBRV 800 The Bear, as again the Cardinals go down 25-9, 25-17, 25-12 in straight sets to the Lady Dragons of Malad. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night when the Lady Cardinals are back on the air. We'll be on air at 7 o'clock with the pregame show for that, and at 7:15 will be the first serve between the Cardinals and the North Gem Lady Cowgirls, as that game will be another in-county battle, and looking forward to calling that one for you guys. Also, don't forget homecoming coming up on Friday, as the Cardinals football team will be taking on the American Falls Beavers on the football field. 6:30 pregame show with a 7 o'clock kickoff between the Cardinals as they look for their first win against the Beavers of American Falls. And on Saturday, we fit Grace into the schedule as well, as we travel out to Hanson, 2 hours to the west of Soda Springs, and cover the Grizzlies taking on the Huskies of Hanson in a matchup that should be a good definition of where the Grizzlies stand on the year in 1A volleyball. Thank you for listening in to the Cardinals postgame show. The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. I'd also like to thank our sales team, as well as our office manager, Kim Miller, and general manager, Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to you for tuning in. Once again, the final score tonight, 3-0. Malad sweeps the Lady Cardinals 25-9, 25-17, 25-12. And for tonight's videographer, Zippy Thompson, I'm Caleb Burgraff, saying tune in again and let's go Cardinals.
Thank you for joining us for tonight's matches. Be sure to visit mylocalradio.com for a full schedule of games you can watch and listen to this year. And keep your radio tuned to KBRV 800 The Bear so you can keep up with every play from Soda Springs, Grace, and North Gym Athletics.